So now we'll study the classification of Punjab Himalayas, Kumaon Himalayas, Nepal Himalayas and the Assam Himalayas. We have already done that the Punjab Himalayas, they lie between the Indus and the Satluj. Punjab Himalayas, they lie between the Indus and the Satluj. These topics are important for the MCQ based question. Now the Kumaon Himalayas, they lie between the Satluj and the Kali River. Third is the Nepal Himalayas. They lie between the Kali and the river Tista. And the fourth one, Assam Himalayas. They lie between the river Tista and Tihang. It is very important to remember the location of the Nepal Himalayas. Now this was for the Himalayan region. Now we have the second physiographic division, that is the Indus-Ganga-Brahmaputra Delta. This is the second physiographic division, Indus-Ganga-Brahmaputra Plain, which is also known as the Northern Plain. This plain extends for about 3,200 kilometers between the mouths of the river Ganga and the Indus. 3,200 kilometers between the mouth of river Ganga and the river Indus. Indus, we have seen, it lies on the western boundary of India. And the width of the northern plains varies from 150 kilometers to 300 kilometers. The longitudinal extent from the banks of river of the Ravi and Satluj to the Ganga Delta alone is 2,400 kilometers. This was just the general width, and from this the narrowest is in Assam, or we can say that the plain is narrowest in Assam. This we have already done, that this was the Shivalik range. Here we have already seen that the Indus River, the Jhelum, Ravi, Beas and the Satluj River For studying the northern plains, we have how the tributaries of the Ganga River originate. This is the river Kosi. Here we have the river Ganda. Here it is the Son River. This is Yamuna. Here we have the river Chambal. This is river Ganga. And here you can see this is the course of river Brahmaputra in the northeastern part of India, extending up to the Bengal. Now the deltaic tracts of Bengal and the river Indus, they have the great diversity which can be very clear from the following description. So this is the region of the northern plains. This you can see, this is the region of the northern plains lying to the south of Shivaliks extending up to West Bengal. This whole region, as you can see in the colored part, this is the region of the northern plains. So now we'll study the difference between the Ganga deltaic tract and the Indus deltaic tract. So the first is The Ganga deltaic tract, it extends only for 430 kilometers from Rajmahal Hills to the edge of the delta. 430 kilometers from the Rajmahal Hills to the edge of the delta. Here you can see this is the location of the Rajmahal Hills. And this is the region for the edge of the delta. As far as the Indus deltaic tract is concerned, it is more extensive and extends for 960 kilometers from the Chenab Hills to the delta. Coming to the second point of difference, we can see that the Ganga delta, it has more of the silt and alluvium, or we can say it has more of the deposition as compared to the Indus deltaic tract. So we can say that the Indus deltaic tract, it has comparatively less silt and alluvium. The third point of difference can be according to the width. So as we have seen that it has more silt and more alluvium, so Ganga delta, it has more of the width, which is 480 kilometers. And the Indus delta tract, it has a width of 150 kilometers, which you can very clearly see that it is 1/3 of the Ganga delta. Coming to another point of difference, we can say even apart from the more silt and more alluvium, we can see that the depth of alluvium, it is more as far as the Ganga deltaic tract is concerned with respect to the Indus deltaic tract. Now we come to the relief features of the plain. This was just a general description of the difference between the delta formed by the river Ganga and the delta formed by the river Indus. Now having a comprehensive look of the northern plains, we study the relief features of the plain. Now we can see that there is a general tendency among the geographers to treat this plain as a flat and featureless plain with monotonous relief, having little variety in its geomorphological features. But it has its own diversities of relief, some of which deserve some consideration. So depending upon these differences, we have studied under the various heads of Bhavar, Tarai, Bhangar and Khadar. First is the Bhavar. Second is the Tarai region. Third is the Bhangar. And fourth is the Khadar. So the names have some resemblance, for example, Bhabar and Bhangar, but there is a lot of difference. So we studied in a tabular form what is the difference between these features. First, we will study the difference between the Bhabar and the Tarai. It is very important to remember these differences. So in the Bhabar region, we can study that it lies along the foot of the Shivaliks from the river Indus to the river Tista. You can see the location of the river Indus and the Tista. This was the river Indus, and in the northeastern part, you can see it is approximately here. This is the position of river Tista. Approximately it lies over this region, the location of river Tista. And in the western region, we have the river Indus. And coming to the Tarai region, it lies to the south of the Bhavar and runs almost parallel to it. Coming to the second difference, we can study as far as the width is concerned, Bhavar, it is 8 to 16 kilometers wide. As far as the Tarai region is concerned, it is wider and therefore it is 20 to 30 kilometers wide. As far as the composition is concerned, Bhavar, it comprises of pebble-studded rocks. As far as the Tarai region it is concerned, it is composed of comparatively finer alluvium and is covered by forest. Coming to the fourth difference, the Bhava region, due to the porosity of the rocks, the streams disappear and flow underground. This is an important feature of the Bhava region, that is, due to the porosity of the rocks are porous, the streams disappear and flow underground. As far as the Tarai region is concerned, the underground streams of the Bhava re-emerge on the surface and give birth to the marshy areas, which is an important characteristic feature of the Tarai region. We can write here the underground streams of the Bhava re-emerge on the surface and give birth to the marshy region. So it is very clear that the Bhava region, it would be more suitable for agriculture as compared to the Tarai region. You can very clearly see that we have seen that the rocks are porous. So the fertility of this region or the Bhava region is more as compared to the Tarai region. So we can write here that this region is more suitable for agriculture and the Tarai region, these regions are reclaimed for agriculture. Now we'll study what are the difference between the Bhangar region and the Khadar region. So Bhangar region, it is highland or it is a highland which is composed of old alluvium, whereas the Khadar region, it is the lowland and it is composed of new alluvium. So the major point of difference is that Bhangar, it comprises of the old alluvium or the early phases of the deposition by the rivers, and the Khadar, it comprises of the new alluvium or the youthful stages or the recent phases of the deposition by the rivers. Another point of difference is that the Bhangar region, it is always above the level of the floodplain. And the Khadar region, it is flooded almost every year, and that is why new alluvium is deposited. The second point of difference is that the Bhangar region, it is often composed with calcareous concretions known as the kankar. Whereas the Khadar region, it is often characterized by clay soil which is very fertile. In general also, wherever we find the clay soil, it is very fertile, because the water holding capacity of clay soil is greater as compared to the sandy soil. So sometimes you are asked a question that Kankad, it is a feature of, then you are given four options: Bhabar, Tarai, Bhangar and the Khadar region. So it should be very clear to the student that Kankad, it is a feature or it is a characteristic feature of the Bhangar. The fourth point of difference is that Bhangar region, it is not much suited for cultivation. It is because it is very obvious that we have seen that it is composed of the calcareous concretion. And in the Khadar region, because it is flooded almost every year and new alluvium is deposited, So this is very clear that this is intensively used for agriculture. Another point of difference is about the local names. Bhangar, it is known as Dhaya in Punjab, and the Khadar region, it is known as Bet in Punjab. In both the cases, we are referring to Punjab. So in Bhangar region, it is known as Dhaya in Punjab, and Khadar region, it is known as Bet in Punjab. So this was the relief feature of the plain. Now we will study what are the regional divisions of the plain. As we have already seen that this region is known as the Indus Ganga Brahmaputra plain. So naturally the regional division of the plain will be according to the territory of the river, as we classify them as the Sindh plain, the Punjab plain, the Ganga plain and the Brahmaputra plain. So the regional division will be, first would be the Sindh plain. Sindh is the river Indus, or the earlier name of river Indus was Sindh. Second is the Punjab plain. Third is the Ganga plain, and fourth is the Brahmaputra plain. You can very clearly see that this is according to the names of the river flooding this region.